Hi everyone, and welcome to this Installer Festival session with Graham, the Plumbers Merchant. We're joined today by Ian Kenny, who's Marketing Director at Graham. Ian, how are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you, Joe?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for joining us. Ian, can you give us a bit about your background at Graham?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've actually worked for Graham now for 11 years, but been within Saint-Gobain, my parent company, for 16 years. Merchanting for that period of time and different brands within the group. But before that, I did work in automotive, and before that, I worked in retail. So a little bit of a varied background, but genuinely my passion and where I found, really enjoyment is now in the construction and the merchanting industry.
Brilliant. And what are we going to be learning? What are we going to be talking about today?
Well, trying to make it really relevant to everybody's really important. So, I'm going to do a little bit of background on the business for those that don't know us as well as what hopefully I'd like you to, but all to really try to explore, what's happened in the last 3-6 months, how our business has adapted to help and support customers through this, how our business will then continue to sort of evolve and adapt over the next 6 months to hopefully get us back, not to what we were, but to a new way of working where hopefully we can all make a sustainable, longer term business again.
That sounds fantastic. So if you can start the presentation, and then I'll got some questions for you at the end.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Right. So I'm not going to try to bore everybody to death with a few slides, PowerPoint and that, but I'm really going to try just give you a little bit of background and sort of go into some more sort of benefits in terms of what we're up to as a business. So just to remind everybody what we do offer, we've got to meet today's challenges together, I believe. A lot of those challenges were met through the use of digital technologies, some of them very new, some of them new to this industry, that's for sure. And then to make sure we don't just stop there, we use what's happening as an opportunity to develop further and faster for the future. So what do we do today? Well, it's interesting, we're not a new business, far from it. We've been around for 80 years. So we've had to change, we've had to evolve, we've had to sort of like move with the times often. And so as clearly you can imagine, so much has changed. You've experienced it as much as we have. So that's given us a right ability to be a little bit more agile, to keep going, and follow the right path, which is almost like always trying to listen and support your customers. Right back to 1936, where we were founded in Scotland, we've now got a business which is part of a bigger group. Why is that of interest? You can pull on different products, you can pull on different sort of support services. If it's not what you do in your business, most of you all got homes, and there's a lot of things we can offer for your own homes as much as anything else. 140 locations in 2020, hopefully that will get stronger as we go forward into 2021. But it's still small enough to care, small enough to act locally, but with the support and backing of a large group where we do need to make some investments. Huge amounts of people employed in the group, and I'll just share with some of those numbers now. So as I said, 140 branches today, operating throughout the UK, 1,000 colleagues, real good longevity of service, which gives us that expert service, a wide range of products held across the network, but specifically 2,000 at least in every location, which we guarantee availability on. And trying to guarantee availability in these uncertain times is something a real benefit for people. So we've deliberately tried to get a really strong, really stable, really resilient product supply to make sure that people could carry on working both through the harder lockdown and now as we come out of it across the nations of the UK. The benefits that we offer, trying to talk in the language of our customers, the language of our installers, trying to make it really simply, do the simple things that people count on that really do drive people's businesses, and then do what we say we're going to do time after time. And all of this historically has been done sort of like through paperwork systems, but we all know, that digital is happening across everywhere in our everyday lives, but also how it can help us in times where safety, as much as anything else, has come right to the forefront. And so, trying to move a lot of these services, if not all of these services, online is what we've tried to do over the last 6 months. So coping with today, was actually trying to understand and work with the government bodies, with the local health authorities to make sure we could actually carry on working safely for you, our colleagues, obviously in the community around us. So that in itself was a big change, to actually bring some of these restrictions in. But I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's carried on supporting. We've supported as many people as we possibly could do through this. And people have adapted and evolved really, really quickly. You know, and our network is now fully open. Our network is seeing customer numbers what it was before lockdown. And our network, you know, is really, really actually stepping up and supporting the local trade in plumbing and heating. So, you know, fundamentally going on to what we've done in the last 3 months, we had a program, a simple program. We sort of like developed this through March, April, you know, and May, to actually say, what can we do as a merchant to help our trade customers get back to work again? You know, so it's not meant to be grand, it's meant to be simple, it's not meant to be promises, it's meant to be absolute deliverables that happen. We called it Kickstarter, you know, so trying to offer certainty in certain times. You know, a lot of worries about product pricing, product availability. Well, let's just say, no, we fixed that, it's fixed. Nothing will change. You know, so no big inflation because things are going in scarce supply. Products are always still stocked and made available, but then offering different services as well. You know, locker services, you know, out of hours services in different parts of the UK when people needed things in a maybe safer, more secure way. And that was really popular to actually see people adopted different ways of working. It didn't always have to be in a branch, although the branch is still very much the heart and the hub of our business. You know, what used to be old-fashioned, you know, sort of like technologies like just ringing up or emailing your orders in first and it'd be there ready for you, all of a sudden became the norm. You know, and hence digital comes with that as well. But it's really, really interesting to see how people adapted to that really, really quickly. Websites, you know, came into their own, visitors went up dramatically. Starts off with when are you open, how are you open, how can we help, you know, but then it sort of goes into transactional purchasing, offering new things, you know, not van stock savings, but subscription services. You know, a lot of us will know things like Amazon, they offer subscription benefits if you buy and buy and buy and buy again. We now try to bring that into our industry on consumable items and helping, you know, people come back into showrooms is really interesting. Showrooms with consumers, showroom for trained customers, a very, very face-to-face market, you might think, but we introduced virtual consultations through Zoom, you know, so we could actually get to people in their own homes, discuss and offer propositions along with the trade. So we weren't trying to go around the trade, far from it. We'd always bring people back to our preferred, referred elite installer scheme. And then setting up affiliation schemes with the like of the Trade Help Network. Hopefully a lot of you will know of it. If not, you know, please have a look at it, because now we partner with the Trade Help Network to offer bigger and better benefits to smaller businesses across the UK. I suppose, to all intents and purposes, this culminated in a digital solution that we launched in July with a business called Power Now. So this isn't your normal ordinary app, you know, sort of like where you can just buy products on. This was a service that was actually trying to take small businesses into the spaces of big national businesses. So with really easy professional quotation systems, with really easy professional paperwork and documentation, and really an easy, simple ways to buy, you know, not just from us, although I would love it to be, you can use it with whoever you want it to do, but we wanted to offer this into the market to actually try to make a difference, to people if they're a Graham Trade account holder, and try to entice people in for sure. But at the same time as that, actually saying, look, you don't have to have paperwork. A lot of people are nervous about paperwork today because they're touching it and leaving it. And of course, there's all the environmental issues as well. So this helps us to do that. It helps people to quote, as I say, it helps people to provide professional estimates, helps people to do their back office, you know, and this is all through an affiliation with a very professional, very, very great company, Powered Now. And so we've designed, you know, a little video I'd like to share with you now. That video isn't all about the features of the technology and the system and how it works. This video I'd like to share with you is about the benefits of using it. It takes about a minute to watch, so I'd just like to share that with you now.
In these uncertain times, we understand the challenges you face. So we've developed this free, convenient Plumbers app to help you focus on what you do best. Use the app to view our latest brochures for quick, easy reference. And with over 2,000 always available products guaranteed in stock to order direct, it'll save you time at the trade counter. Choose click and collect or delivery to site, giving you the flexibility to work the way you want. Within the app, use the free digital tools to easily manage your business admin. Create customer and supplier contacts, track expenses or quote and invoice from anywhere. Create professional looking paperwork using one of the many free templates. Converting quotes into purchase orders and customer invoices will speed up your admin, meaning you can get on with what you're good at, doing a great job.
Well, I hope you found that video interesting, but that's not the end of it. That's just the start of it. You know, we've had hundreds, thousands of downloads of that app in the last 2 months, which is great to see. We can see, you know, obviously how people are using it. And it also gives a great opportunity for people to suggest further investment, further enhancements. And some of those enhancements, when they're designed by customers, are the best enhancements you can bring to your business. So sort of like asking for feedback, changing on that feedback, and then putting stuff in that pipeline that you can bring in the next weeks and months. You know, and that's exactly what we are doing. Now, along with that, you know, we've done some other things and over this sort of like last 6 months. These are really sort of like helping to try to digitize the way that we do work. So we have a Graham Direct website now. We have a really great, phenomenal data of base of videos, you know, in terms of what we call plumbed in. It's our blog. Now we've seen video learning, wanting to learn online go up dramatically. So, you know, if you want to learn more about the new Green Homes Grant, for example, have a look on there. We've got references and materials on there as well. We've launched an eBay store, but it's not your normal eBay store. It's an actual eBay for business store. It's called Graham Outlet, you know, so we've got that currently sort of like live in the West Midlands, you know, and we're actually doing this to help dispose, not of what we don't need, you know, in terms of stock. It's perfectly great, but obviously through the lockdown, we've got stock, excess stocks. You know, none of us were selling or installing as much more. So what we want to do is actually help move that out into the market. This is a place to go and find that, which is great. And the little logo over there is a robot. It's a chat bot. So we've actually introduced a chat bot onto our website now. So a lot of people wanted to ask us questions that could be answered by a little bit of code. It's called Flash Gordon, you know, sort of thing. So it's all the latest technology. It helps you get to what you need to get really, really quickly and free, obviously, which is really important in this time as well. So what's next? You know, so obviously it's great, hopefully, to focus on the customer, keep making these investments, keep making these developments or how things evolve and change. But it can't be the end there. And one of the big things, you know, is then to actually help our branch network, our colleagues in our branches, help you, our customers, to do business easier, to help you save time and money, you know, and that's really, really important. Saving time and money, you know, has never been more critical, I don't believe, you know, as we need to be more and more productive to try to get back some of the things that we've all lost. The technology can help bring us together as well, which I think is important. You know, still think face-to-face is probably the best and the most wonderful way to meet, but we've all learned things through the lockdown, you know, ways to actually do a bit more efficient, a bit of a different hybrid way of working, so we can actually hopefully get a bit more balance in our work and our home lives, but still use technology to make that happen. And that's what we're now bringing across every single one of our branches. So it's not just a promise, it's reality. We actually started this last week, you know, so we're rolling it out, you know, so our whole network's complete by January 2021. It's going really well so far. You know, we've started in the Midlands. That's, you know, closest to where we are based, so we can give the most support to our people and our customers as we move the systems. And the best thing I can tell you is, you know, it's I can, in terms of the first 2 weeks in, you know, it's working, and I say that with a smile on my face because that's one of the biggest risks with these things. It's working really well. Customer feedback, the customer insight that we're gaining from those first 2 weeks has been super, and it's something that we'll just push on with. So what does it do? You know, we call it ICON. It's an integrated commercial operating network. It's trying to put a lot of power and information into the hands of the people who need it most, you know, primarily customers. So it gives the ability to see stock, obviously. It gives the ability to get proof of deliveries online. It gives the ability to get proof of collections online. So removing paperwork out of everywhere. You know, it speeds up the administration of helping you run your business, certainly running ours. And hopefully, you know, you get answers to any queries or questions so much quicker than you were to before. Again, just keeping things going. You know, this whole idea of certainty in stock and availability and saving time by traveling around and asking for things. You can see pictures. You can see pictures of products where they are locally and where they're available. and how many of them. So again, helping you save time and money in your business. And it's great when you ring into a branch now, you know, sort of thing, as this network goes, you're hopefully met, you know, politely, professionally, but your name pops up, your history pops up, any jobs that you've got outstanding or quotes that you're waiting for and it pops up. So you're talking to people with information about you that help you drive your business, help us serve you better. And that's all to do with modern contact systems. You know, so hopefully, you know, we'll see that benefit roll out now throughout the whole of our network. Only reason why I say hopefully, it's all going really, really well. But obviously the current COVID situation across the UK does occasionally change things a little bit in terms of where we can work and where we can't. But nevertheless, you know, we've got a plan to complete this by January next year to offer that service to all our customers across the UK. 24/7 is really great, a way of actually saying not everybody wants to work 24/7. For those of you that do, you will be able to with us, which is absolutely super and great. And the great thing about it, you know, as well, is this contactless way of working. No paperwork, contactless collection, the use of lockers and things of that sort of like nature. For those of us that are, and rightly so, a little bit more safety aware, safety concerned as much as anything else, gives us the ability to work with people in a different way. But still, the branch is the hub of our network, and empowering and giving our people the right tools is really important. You know, it's been a hard time, you know, for all businesses in all industries, you know, and being part of the group that we're part of has given us the ability to carry on investing and make these changes. Some people will have asked us, you know, is this the right time to do this? We actually think it's the best time to do it, you know, to actually then come out of this as a stronger business for the installers and the customers across the UK. So, you know, and finally, we capture it all with this program. You know, a lot of businesses have them. You can't go anywhere now without being asked for a review and things of that nature. It genuinely is important. It's important to us. It's important to our colleagues. You know, we do get thousands of bits of information every day about how people, not just scoring us, telling us how they feel about what we're doing and what we're not doing. We probably learn more about what we're not doing right than we do about what we do right, to be honest with you. And we have some very open discussions about how we can improve. And certainly, you know, what came out loud and clear for us last year, 2019, was the need to move quicker into digital. I wish we had it all there and ready for the start of March, to be honest with you. We weren't. We could have stopped. We decided to carry on to make sure we invested in it so we can come through and out of it as quickly as we can. But we genuinely do appreciate feedback. We genuinely do act on feedback, not just where we can, but where absolutely it's the right thing for everybody to do. So I'll just ask genuinely our business to make sure it's a key priority. Final thing from me in reality is again, just almost like talking about, you know, business and safety of businesses through these difficult times. The easier we are to do business with, the less amount of paperwork, the less amount of physical handling that any of us and all of us can do makes us a better business relationship. And I think digital will certainly help with us, but it doesn't replace everything. You know, I crave to be able to get back to meet people more formally. You know, I think all of us do, you know, in this industry that's based a lot around people and people relationships, but you still can use technology to help support, you know, our business in these times. You know, so whether it be, say, video consultation with customers, video consultations with customers in their own homes, whether it be ordering online or looking at rich product training and doing CPDs online, all of these things are now available to us, and they have been. What we've actually seen is them accelerate and actually really take a place of their own, you know, in our business, and we'll probably now continue to invest in them more and more and more. So thank you for allowing me just to share with you all what we've been up to for the last 6 months or so, and what we are going to do for the next 3 months. So yeah, so thanks, Joe. Thanks for that.
No, thanks very much. It's been a busy time for all of us, but especially for you guys. But yeah, I mean, we kind of spoke about this just before we started recording. But what are some of the kind of key positives that you can see about kind of the industry and your business coming out of this?
I think, you know, when, you know, March the 23rd, when Boris was there giving his announcement, you know, a lot of us were still very uncertain and unsure what it meant. But the amount of energy, and I won't say enthusiasm, but passion to actually do the right thing sprang into life virtually immediately. You know, so the positives were, you know, people really wanted to help. They really wanted to make a difference. They really wanted to do the right thing, and they wanted to do it safely. You know, so we've seen some astounding, you know, sort of examples of customer service, customer care, truly going the extra mile when it mattered, you know, for whether they be key workers, whether it be for Nightingale hospitals, people genuinely doing things safely, doing the right things and doing them well to actually help the business and businesses through this in the country. You know, I've seen, you know, in the plumbing and heating industry, an industry that's come together. You know, yeah, we've got many rivals. There's thousands of competing sort of like stores online and in branches selling. But I genuinely saw people work together and work together well in the realms of competition laws and that to enable us to do the right thing for people. You know, lots of great examples of businesses, you know, staying open safely, you know, staying open sometimes not necessarily being that busy, but staying open to serve people when they needed to be served.
Oh, I agree. I think it's been really positive for the heating and plumbing industry, especially. And do you have any big kind of plans or views for 2021 that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, I think outside of genuinely hoping 2021 genuinely is going to be a better year than this year, I think, you know, from a bigger political picture, obviously all of us need to be a little bit mindful of what finally Brexit does mean, you know. But again, you can only control what you can control. You can only control what's in your own destiny. And if we continue to do the right things and listen to our customers and work with our customers, I don't think it's a time to batten down the hatches, Joe. I do think you need to be a little bit more on the front foot now as businesses, you know, actually try to go forward, to make sure we go forward and create our own momentum, and don't just think that, you know, we're going to get what we're given, you know, in reality. There's hopefully some government incentives and initiatives we need to, and I will say exploit, you know, make the most of, you know, to make sure that they're used and fully beneficial. And I sincerely believe that people are going to want to invest more in their houses, you know, because if more and more people are working at home, you know, they're looking at their living space, both in terms of how they work or in their gardens and that in their space as well there. So I do think for the RMI market, there's some good opportunities for our industry. But we've got to be there at the right time to make sure we can actually continue to service the needs of our installers, you know, and customers well. The business plans for next year, you know, far from business as usual. You know, there'll be a lot more focus on different ways of working, hopefully, you know, that are all focused on helping the customer and helping the colleagues, you know, through what have been difficult times. You know, as a business, we no longer have anybody on furlough. We didn't have anybody on furlough after the end of July. You know, so we managed to return, you know, all our colleagues back to business. Some of our colleagues wanted to come back in a more flexible way, which is good, you know, to help people live their lives better. So some good learnings there as well, you know, and certainly for next year, we probably will see, you know, more investment in some of our own buildings, to be honest with you, to make those, you know, better places to work, better places to come and visit when customers come back in. You know, before we started this or sharing with this sort of things, we're fully open as a business, you know. Now we're seeing customer numbers as good as what they were before the lockdown, which is very encouraging. You know, and certainly, you know, we want to make sure that we take that opportunity to help wherever we can, you know, all the small businesses and all our customers actually sort of like return back to a more positive 2021.
No, I think that's what we're all hoping for. So for all of the things that you've mentioned, how do heating installers, plumbers, renewables professionals, how do they get kind of more information about what you guys are offering?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I'm mainly talking about digital, so, you know, I'd always like to say, you know, come and have a look at grahamdirect.co.uk. But that being said, you know, we've got a very wide local branch network, you know, with a lot of great people in there with a lot of great experience. So, you know, they would welcome the opportunity to speak to anybody at all times. But, you know, this blended approach, I think, is the way forward. You know, the decision ultimately the customers how they want to do business with us, and it's got to be at the right time and at the right location for them as much as anything else, Joe. So that's why the blended approach is there.
No, perfect. Thank you very much for your time, Ian.
No worries.
Thank you.
Take care.